Welcome back. The 119th Congress will formally begin today at noon, with Republicans set to control both chambers for the first time since 2019. The House will gavel into session to hold a speaker election. We'll be talking about that all morning. Then they'll swear in all 434 members and consider a new rules package that would make it harder to oust the sitting speaker. Over in the Senate, only the 32 newly elected or re-elected senators will be sworn in on the Senate floor by Vice President Kamala Harris. Joining us now, Democratic Governor-elect Matt Meyer of Delaware. Mr. Governor, good to see you this morning, and congratulations on your victory back in November. Let's start, before we turn to the way your state is making history today, let's start with you and your vision for your state as you prepare to take office.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, and good morning to viewers. 10 years ago, I was a 6th and 7th grade math teacher teaching in public schools in Wilmington after a time as a diplomat in Iraq and overseas. We got elected. It was an upset outsider victory because we're delivering for the people of Delaware. I currently run our largest county. And so we're about delivering for the working people of our state. We're putting in place policies to be off and running when we start about 2.5 weeks from now.
Hi, it's Molly Jong-Fast. Can you explain to us what some of those policies are and how they can help people?
Sure. First of all, our schools, Delaware schools traditionally are really high-quality public schools. Based on current test scores, we're 45th, 46th in the country. Delawareans don't like being 5th or 6th worst in the country. So we have a policy we're going to roll up our sleeves, make sure teachers are staying in the classroom, making sure we're getting resources to teachers and funding our schools appropriately. My wife's actually an emergency room physician, so we have some innovative policies about bringing down healthcare costs, increasing accessibility for people, sort of, kitchen table issues to deliver for the people of our state, which I think, quite frankly, is the future leadership that our state, our country really needs, that our party needs.
Sir, hi, it's Peter Baker from the New York Times. I wonder if you could expand on that a little bit. You're entering a period a new year where Democrats are in the minority in the House, the Senate, and are going to lose the White House in a few days. The president of your state, Joe Biden, of course. So what is the lesson then going forward for Democrats? How is it that they should operate now in this new Trump era? Should it be, how much should they be in opposition and resistance to Trump? How much should they try to work out deals with him? How do they contrast themselves with him? How do they, to make the case to voters that they deserve, another look in the next round of elections?
So, Peter, I'm a little biased, but I think governor is where it's at and states are where it's at. And our job is to make sure we roll up our sleeves and deliver for, in my case, the people of Delaware with great innovative policies that benefit Democrats, that benefit Republicans, that benefit independents, that benefit all corners of our community. And we're determined to do that. Listen, we live in an incredible time, an incredibly technological time. You can do incredible things in the palm of your hand, but there are so many Americans, so many Delawareans who are falling behind. And I think those leaders and the party that's able to deliver for those people who are falling behind is ultimately going to be the winner, regardless of what the election results were a few months ago. So that's what we're really focused on in Delaware. How do we put our head down, be a model for the country? As you've seen the last 4 years in the White House, Delaware can be a model for the country, and we're looking to do that with innovative policies.
Hey, Governor-elect Jackie Alemany from The Washington Post. Thanks for coming on this morning. You know, one of the reoccurring talking points and concerns that comes up in my conversations with Democratic lawmakers on the Hill right now is some of the concern about the drawbacks of the tax credits relating to clean energy investments that have been dispersed to the states through the Inflation Reduction Act. I'm wondering if there's anything, any sort of plans that you have to try to protect some of the investments that already have been made or future investments in the case that Republicans decide to repeal the IRA.
Yeah, listen, we are in the midst of a climate crisis. We see it in Delaware. Delaware is the lowest lying state in the country based on average elevation. We have a coastline that's being flooded on a regular basis. Rainfalls are at record rates. So we will do everything we can to extend those credits within our state to make sure that we're protecting people in Delaware and across our country and world. That's the advantage that states have these days. And I think, blue states like Delaware, where we have a Democratic Senate, we have a Democratic House. In my view, the chips are down. It's an opportunity for us to show that maybe at a time when the federal government may not lead, we're going to lead.
So, Mr. Governor-elect, we'll close with some of the history your state is making right now. Of course, Delaware's favorite son, Joe Biden, is exiting the White House in just a couple of weeks. But you have entering Washington, you have Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, only the third black woman to be elected to the Senate. Others have served, but only the third to be elected. And then as well as Sarah McBride, the first openly transgender person elected to Congress. Talk to us about these two history-making individuals.
So Lisa Blunt Rochester, for 237 years, the first state in this country has sent representatives to the U.S. Senate. Every single one of those people has been a U.S. male, has been a man, a white man, until today. Today it changes, and it changes not because of the race or gender of Lisa Blunt Rochester, but because she's a courageous leader who we believe in, who I personally have had the opportunity leading a county to collaborate with to prevent homelessness and address housing issues. She worked hard on supply chain and reducing cost of living for everyday Americans. So we're excited about that. Sarah McBride is extraordinary, has shown extraordinary courage, and has done great work in the state Senate that doesn't get much coverage nationally, creating paid family leave for Delaware families, and also reducing the cost and accessibility of health care. So we're very excited about having these two individuals represent us starting today. They'll be sworn in later today.
History made today in Washington from the great state of Delaware. Democratic Governor-elect Matt Meyer of Delaware, thank you for joining us this morning.